something that should never be taken lightly, and there are rules that must be followed to prevent unnecessary death and chaos. Here are 10 illegal war weapons. Before we begin, we want you to hit that subscribe button and be the first to know about the latest videos from the richest. Laser beams. We know what you're thinking. We all have laser pointers that we will jokingly point in each other's eyes for good fun. So how can laser beams be illegal? Well, the laser pointers that are out on the commercial market aren't meant to cause permanent blindness. The laser beams that are used in warfare are much more powerful and can cause some extensive damage to one's eyes to the point where they are permanently blind. In the 19th century, a worldwide prohibition was issued against weapons that caused permanent blindness. Plastic landmines. Plastic landmines are a rather sneaky way to hide explosives since they can't be detected with a metal detector. But because they interfered with surgeons being able to treat their patients, plastic landmines are forbidden in warfare per Protocol 1 of the 1979 Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons. Plastic and other undetectable materials can still be used as a part of the landmine and explosive, but it can't be the main device. Dirty bombs. Dirty bombs are explosives that are laced with radioactive material, and they are used so that enemy land cannot be used by anyone, even the country that set off the explosive. Salted bombs are similar, but their effect is on a nuclear scale as they contain an isotope of another substance like cobalt, gold, zinc, or sodium. When detonated, it creates a huge cloud of fallout. If you're familiar with the Soviet doomsday device from Dr. Strangelove, it is the same type. Given the effect these types of bombs would have on civilian life, that is why they are illegal. Poison and hollowed point bullets. Per the Strasbourg Agreement of 1675, poison bullets are illegal. Not only did soldiers used to soak their bullets in poison, but they would also put their bullets in dead bodies and even latrines, so that when fired into a human body, there would be a huge risk of infection from the bullet wound. Thanks to the Hague Convention of 1899, any bullets that exploded or expanded were outlawed, as well to prevent shots that made death inevitable. While it doesn't make much sense, it's the law. Napalm and flamethrowers. We're including these two weapons as one topic because while they are technically allowed to be used in warfare, there is a condition. Napalm and flamethrowers cannot be used around or near civilian areas. This is due to Protocol 3 of the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons. Given that guerrilla soldiers will often use civilians as human shields or hide out near populated areas, this prevents their enemies from going in there and just killing them all with one swoop. Unexploded bombs. If you think that old bomb or missile that's laying around in a field would make a good weapon for a current war, think again. Per Protocol 5 of the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons, explosive remnants of war are forbidden for use. That includes artillery shells as well as bombs. This law came into effect in the 1990s when jihadists in Afghanistan were using old explosives that the Soviets left behind after a previous conflict in the country. Spike pits. Spike pits were notoriously used in Vietnam as well as the Pacific in World War II, and they maimed and brutally killed its victims with a single fall. But thanks to Protocol 2 of the 1979 Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons, spike pits are now outlawed. Technically, spike pits were viewed as biological warfare. Even those who were lucky enough to survive an encounter with a spike pit normally had to deal with infections from the cuts afterward. Bioweapons. Biological weapons have been used for centuries, from smallpox blankets being given to Native Americans to medieval knights throwing dead bodies over castle walls for the sake of spreading disease. It seems like a clever way to take out an enemy using Mother Nature's fury, but thanks to the Biological Weapons Convention, which supplements the Geneva Protocol, bioweapons are no longer allowed to interfere with warfare. This also includes using animals and bugs as a vehicle to spread diseases and illnesses. Phasers. This may sound like something from a science fiction movie, but phasers and other energy weapons are very much real. They are known as directed energy weapons, and they include things like death ray lasers, sonic cannons, and real-life plasma rifles. Any directed energy weapons that are powerful enough to kill a human are forbidden in warfare. Gases. Gases like mustard gas, nerve gas, phosgene gas, and tear gas are all illegal to use during wartime. Mustard gas will cause the victim to drown in their own lung fluid, while nerve gas will make the entire nervous system shut down. During World War I, phosgene gas was responsible for 85% of chemical deaths, and it was lethal because it was colorless and odorless. And the Hague Convention outlawed tear gas because it is an inhalant that affects breathing.